Hari Om, good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come, let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together, our hearts filled with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humble salutations to the Divine Almighty, who also has the divine names Vardhanaha, Vardhamanaha, to seek His grace, His mercy, His love, His protection, His forgiveness, His strength, Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. O Lord, please bestow upon us these divine qualities, only and only to understand Thy true nature and have that first-hand self-experience of Thy Almighty, Aparoksha Anubhuti. We also beseech in You that at the end of our lives, we reach Thy holy feet. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, with the grace of the Almighty and the Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse, number 295, 16th of August 2022, Shubhakrit Nama Samvatsar, दक्षिणायन, वर्षा ऋतु, श्रावण मास, कृष्ण पक्ष, पंचमी, रेवती नक्षत्र, शूल योगे, तैतुल करणे. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all take an oath, make a firm resolve to ourselves. Shri Vishnu Preranaya Shri Vishnu Prityartham Naham Karta Hari Karta. All that is happening in our lives, every incident, every situation, every circumstance, be it through a person, place, or object. O Lord, I firmly believe that it is only and only at your behest. It is your Leela that you have created to uplift this life from this ocean of births. I accept everything with a smile, with the attitude of Prasada Buddhi, and live in ever connect with you blissfully and peacefully. Om. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome once again. So now, today we are going to study chapter 14 at a glance. The revision 2 we can call it as. Now, this particular chapter, the value and importance, how we apply it to our daily lives, is one, it gives you an understanding to your own self about yourself. How you as a human, you are structured. And the second aspect is, when you have understood yourself, you will be able to actually understand others better. Even the structure of all the other human beings are also explained in this particular chapter. So, we need to clearly decipher and understand for ourselves that where I am coming from and where the other person also is coming from. Then it becomes very easy for us to tackle things in life. Sometimes you know that that person is in a tamasic mood, then better step back. You may be 1000% right, but step back. When the other person is in a tamasic mood, nothing will work because you know his characteristics now. So in this way, this chapter has got great benefit in terms of a very healthy living. And more importantly, how does it help us in our self-evolution? We all are under the misapprehension that if I come under the top category, which is the Sattva Guna, which is the mode of goodness, righteousness, nobility, piousness, then that means I am leading an extremely good life. Yes and no. You are leading a good life, of course, but this will not take you to the Lord. When I say yes, you are at the threshold. You are just at the border of what can take you to the Supreme Lord. Without coming here, you will not be able to reach the Lord. Being in Rajogun or Tamogun, you will not be. But what happens is, the Prakriti has got that magnetic power that it keeps one person stuck to this particular gun because he starts loving it. It is peaceful. So, the Lord, He wants us over here. He says, be careful, be careful. This is not going to help you to cross over and reach me. So, He tells us how to move forward, how to cross over. So, today we have done in our previous class up to verse number 8, and now today we'll take from verse 9, and I don't think we may be able to complete it today, and I don't want to rush through also. So, we'll see as much as we can cover. So, in the last few verses, Arjuna, he puts a question to Lord Krishna and he says, now tell me, how do I cross over? You have explained to me so much in detail about gunas, perfect, but now I want to learn how somebody can cross over. So probably that will go in the next class. Let's examine it that way. Okay. Now, in our previous class, what we understood was that each and every guna, it becomes predominant in a particular person from time to time. So now Lord Krishna, he points out, what if a guna becomes predominant in a person, that is you, what will happen? How I am able to understand that? So here he takes us into more details. Now the first guna he takes is in verse number 9, when sattva is predominant in yourself, in your character, you will feel happy. You will be somehow feeling a sense of happiness, joy, contentment, peace, quietude. All this means you are in the sattva guna. There may be sufficient reasons for you to be sad, but your mental frame and texture of your mind will be serene, peaceful, quiet and happy. Like Thomas Alva Edison, who had won the maximum patents in this world. Once it so happens that his factory caught fire and it was in flames. Now his son come running to his father Thomas Alva Edison, and he says, "Father, our factory is on fire." Now father comes and he sees, yes, the factory is on fire. And when he sees that, he happily tells his son, son, go get your mom. Let her also see a huge fire. We don't get to see such a huge fire anytime. Now it is his factory. He knows that he can't do anything. He says, let me enjoy that fire. So that way, you have enough reasons to be unhappy, but the nature of a sattva guni is that he always moves towards happiness. This sattva, it fastens you to peace. You cannot change the exterior because it is by prarabdha. All that which is happening outside is happening by prarabdha. You cannot change that. But the inside you will be peaceful. Now, moving on to rajas. Even though you are happy, you have all the reasons to be peaceful, you have all the reasons to be quiet, you have all the reasons to be serene, you will still jump into action. Wanting to acquire more, achieve more, possess more. All because of this, you will not be peaceful, you will not be happy, you will not be joyful. So this is the nature of rajas. So whenever you feel yourself in this kind of a scenario where you are wanting to get this, get that, and go there, go here, then you should know that you are in a state of rajas. Now comes the tamas. Even though you have all the possibilities of acquiring knowledge, data is present with you, all the apparatus, your equipment are there, but this tamas, what it does is, it veils that understanding and it takes you to wrong decisions, to those misapprehensions. In other words, it fastens you to wrong decisions. Just as sattva fastens you to peace, this tamas fastens you to wrong decisions. Tamahetu mahat sangena utpadyamanam api jnanam avritya. This is how it does. You tell somebody in your house, there is something nice going on, you're seeing on a TV, some good thought is being spoken about. They don't even, they listen a little bit and they said, no, that doesn't make sense to me, you only listen, and they go away. So this is the nature of a tamasic person. The parents, then your spouse, they encourage you. See, look, you have such good knowledge over here. But because of their wrong thinking, they keep away from such good things. And eventually it also results in giving up one's duties, what one has to do, because he is always stuck in what he thinks is right. Now we'll learn a little more about this. So now to summarize, sattva will make you happy even though the surroundings are very difficult. Rajas will keep you engaged in selfish pursuits even though you are happy. You have enough reasons to be happy, and tamas will lead you to ignorance even though you have the best of teachers or friends or family members around you. We should not forget that our mind makes our life depending upon the sattva, rajas and tamas factor present in each one of us. Very clear. Now recently we can talk of the great stock trader Mr. Rakesh Junjunwala. He almost from 5,000 rupees he grew to 50,000 crores, but he could not buy a single minute of his life. And he could also not take a single penny from the place he left. And you know how his mentality was, what I read was, when he was in the ICU, he made sure that he got a Bloomberg screen. This is about, he wanted to trade. He wanted to know what the markets, in which direction the markets are going. Can you imagine the height of that rajasic and tamasic nature which can keep blowing on you? That is what, when you are made up of these sattva, rajas and tamas. Watching screen, what? The markets are going up and down, up and down. You get more agitated. You need rest. And blue light from the screen does not help you in terms of getting good sleep also. Now, this is a state where at that last moment when you are unwell, you are not in the right state of mind, you are nowhere close to even thinking what is the purpose of life. You are totally out of the radar. So this is the havoc. Now this is a live example. This is the havoc which one gets into because you have cultivated this on a routine basis. When you are traveling, you are looking at the screen. When you are eating, you are looking at the screen. When you are in the toilet, you are looking at the screen. I have seen people in the washroom. They are looking at the screen and they are easing themselves. What is the meaning of this? That is how these gun they act on you. The more you keep doing what you get in your mind on these lines, the more strong they become. So now here it is now explained how these qualities they keep fighting within a person. Within each other they fight. Sattva fights with Rajas, Tamas, and Tamas and Rajas fights with Sattva mutually. And how they come out victoriously against each other. How each and every quality comes out prominently against the other, that comes in the 10th verse. Even though all the three qualities are present, one quality is dominant at one point of time. These are the basic principles which we need to understand. So, if Sattva overpowers Rajas and Tamas, you are of a Sattvic nature. By now you know what are the qualities of being in a Sattvic mode. Peace, serenity, happiness, joy, all that is when Sattva overtakes both Rajas and Tamas. And when Rajas overtakes Sattva and Tamas, then you are supposed to be called as a Rajasic. And you are called a Tamasic when Rajas and Sattva are overpowered. But don't forget, each and every quality that is good, it overpowers based on one's own liking and preference. There is somewhere which you are deciding, you are cultivating, you are again and again fueling. So, this is another aspect which we should understand, that there is a constant fight between these three gun and which is backed by your liking and preference. Now, how do you know which quality is predominant in oneself as per the Adhyatma Shastra? Now in verse 11, when Sattva is prominent, when can you say in yourself which is present? In all the doorways of your body, when there is an embodiment of knowledge. Knowledge means we are not talking of only the spiritual knowledge here, any knowledge. The zeal to learn, the zeal to understand, the zeal to evaluate. So, when you are moving towards knowledge, effulgence, then when the mind is in the present moment with 100% attention, then you are intensively aware and conscious, you are alert, you are peaceful, then imagine, then understand that Sattva is present. Swami Chinmayananda Gurudev used to say, quiet, alert, vigilant living itself is the highest sadhana. Meaning you are in that Sattva mode. You are quiet, alert and vigilant at the same time. So now when do we have Rajas? Or when we know that Rajas has taken charge of the fort, meaning charge over us. So the verse 12 explains, Lobha pravritti karmanam arambaha ashamaha and spruha. So Lobha means greed. Pravritti means activity. You want to run around because greed has already given you directions. Go here, go there, get that, get this. Then karmanam arambham. Arambham means you are commencing new set of activities and works in your life. It could be for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year or for the decade. Then ashamaha means you are at unrest. I have to go here, I have to go there, I don't know whether I'll be able to cover up all these places. I don't know how the traffic is, and today it's raining also. So you are at unrest, some reason or the other. And the last one is spruha, desire. So this way, how each one of this, let's go in more detail on these 5 qualities. because we should ensure that we cross over these. Our intention is from tamas we have to come to rajas, and from rajas we have to come to sattva mode, and then eventually with the help of this shastra we have to cross over and reach the Almighty. So lobha dhanadi agame bahuda jayamanapi punah punah. Meaning what? Paradravya dishcha. Meaning you want what others have also. You are always keeping an eye how I can take over his wealth. Take over his wealth meaning your competitor is there, he is doing good business. Now you want to cut into his market and make money more money for yourself. And if there is any possibility you have a partner or you have an associate, how you can steal his money. You want his money, hook or crook. Now, Dana Virodhi. Dana Virodhi means here you have your wealth, but you only are interested in multiplying it and you are not interested to share. Share or donate or help others. No, you want to see your money growing. You never want to share. Then pravritti, nityam kurvad rupataha, meaning you want to be everywhere, pravritti, active. In the morning you are at some political function, then again in the afternoon you are at some grah pravesh, and then after that in the evening you are at a wedding reception. And you feel, my day is good. Like I have a tight schedule today. Or you will say in the morning I have a meeting in Ahmedabad, and then afternoon meeting I have in Delhi, and then I have to catch the evening flight and I have to be in Hyderabad for the evening dinner meeting. And you feel a kind of pride telling this. This is how my life is. Karmanam arambaha. And let me be honest and admit that initially I was of this kind. But after this knowledge came in, I slowly understood what is it I am doing. Because otherwise we think, that these gunas, they work in us and you are driven by them. But then this is wrong, this is not right. So then you are alerted and you put in efforts and slowly change your life schedule and cycle. And you come out of that. And it is possible. I was exactly like this, what I told you now. Now, karmanam arambaha. Even though there is no need to start a project or to take up a venture, that too in a situation others are incomplete and your time and energy is not enough for those other projects which are already on hand. Things are getting delayed, but you go in for another project just because that greed is there in you. Why should I lose an opportunity? Somewhere you'll remember a statement saying, opportunities have got many doors to knock. That comes to your mind and you will say, how should I let this go? If I don't open the door for this opportunity, it will go to somebody else and you will grab it. This is an opportunity knocking at my door. I should not leave it. Like you go for a buffet dinner, let's say. Of course, food is tasty and it is looking good. It's 9:30, 10 in the night. You are also hungry and you eat beyond one's capacity. Why? It is tasty. You are hungry and you don't want to miss on that opportunity. This is that human mentality. Rajas, it takes you into that flow. Karmanam arambha, even though it is not required, it takes you, pushes you into that. Then ashamaha, the another quality here is you are restless in your mind because you have got so many things on your plate. By the time you solve one thing, the other thing goes out of control. And then by the time you resolve another thing, then something else comes up, unexpected. Ashamaha. So that restlessness in your mind is always playing. Then the fifth and last one is spruha, your longing. Now you just saw something and then you start thinking, that person has got this. I think even I should aim for that. Now, how do I get that? It could be an object also. Somebody is carrying a Louis Vuitton bag, you'll say, my God, it's looking so pretty. Let me also try to buy one. And then you ask what is the price. Somebody says it's about close to 3 lakhs of rupees. You will think, really? 3 lakhs? But I think it is worth having one. Now, how did this come? Because you saw that object. It could be an object, it could be an opportunity. When you see this, your mind, the rajoguna in you pushes you, spruha, it pushes you, that longing for that particular object or for that particular aspect, you will make up all your mind to achieve it. Come what may. You will not look at what is its benefit, what is its disbenefit. No, that person has got it and I saw it was looking nice in that person's hand. I also must have it. That's how the whole advertisement industry is working today. Now, a guy who is wearing a nice outfit, a guy or a lady, first of all, she has the right, the right structure. And when you have that right structure, you wear something pretty decent. It looks so good on them. Now you have a paunch and you have a body disproportionate, but you imagine you to look like the person who is in that ad or in that hoarding. That's how the mind works. Praha. It attracts you and you start feeling that longingness to get that particular object or opportunity. So in this way, this is how the rajas it works. Now what are the indicators of tamas? It's explained in verse 13. Aprakashaka. Aprakashaka means you feel dull. अरे आज मूड नहीं है. And and then sometimes you also understand, अरे I was foolish, yaar, you'll say. That is an embodiment of foolishness. You yourself understand. I don't know why I was foolish. Why did I say all that? And then you also feel you're ignorant. When somebody is saying something and all that, you don't understand. You say, what is that person talking? I don't understand anything. You have that sense of ignorance also. And apravritti, you don't want to move. You are in complete inaction. You just want to lie around. Pramadaha, heedlessness. There is no attention to anything. You are careless. Then moha, you misunderstand things. Somebody comes and tells you the right thing, you will start calculating what interest has this person got. And you will not accept what they say. You will not even analyze. You will straight come to the conclusion that I should do exactly opposite of what this person is saying. Moha, delusion. So all these are predominantly when you are in a tamasic mood. So now we understood what happens when you are in a sattvic mood, what happens when you are in a rajasic mood, and what happens when you are in a tamasic mood. Now Lord Krishna, he takes us to the next topic. He says, I have created in such a way that the guna which is predominant in a person at the time of his death, that has an impact in his future life. This is very interesting. We need to know this. So, in verse 14 he says, if sattva is predominant at the time of your death, such a jiva will go to the worlds of higher embodiments, the Hiranyagarbha, the heavens, which are pure without sorrow and full of effulgence. This sounds good, which means then we should always be in sattva. But this is a place of return again. You have been good, so you will get a good vacation. That's all. You can call it as a vacation. How long do you go for a vacation? You may go for a week, you may go for a month, you may go for 2, you may go for 6 months. Okay, let's say even you went for a year. But can you be on vacation all your life? No. So, based on your punya, being a sattvic person, what all punya you have gained in your life, now that for that punya you get a good and happy life for some time. Kshine punya murti loke. Then again, after the, like whatever money you had, once it is over, then as you come back, home. Otherwise, who will keep you in a hotel, or how will you be able to travel? So, till the time you have your punya, you are there in these higher worlds, and then you come back again. So, it sounds good, but it doesn't make sense again. Now, let's look at in verse 15 what happens when Rajas is predominant at the time of your death. The jiva is born among the realm of those humans who have that trishna and asanga. Trishna means that quest, deep desire, and asanga is you are attached to activity and greed. Asanga. So, when this tamas is predominant during death, you are born in the realm of these deluded creatures. Now, Rajas, tamas. So, when that is predominant, you are born in the realm of deluded creatures like bees and birds, insects and worms. So, when you are extremely unwell, you don't know whether you will be able to come out of that ICU or not. At that time, at least think of the Lord. Be in that sattva gun, not looking at a screen or talking to your business associates in an ICU and taking calls about now next what I do and what I don't do and all that. So by this we can understand one should be in that sattva mode. Now okay, although it is not here, only sattva, rajas and tamas is explained. I will just go forward to explain. We as sadhaks, what should be our state of mind when we are on our deathbed, let's say. Tamas, no way. Rajas also, no way. Sattva also you keep aside. What you should be doing is, you should transcend your body and mind and just be in that awareness of experiencing consciousness all around you, that Chaitanya Shakti, Satchidananda. Just keep experiencing that. You have transcended your body, your mind, your senses, and you are in that Chaitanya Shakti. And now when you also come within you, you will experience that Chaitanya Shakti reflected as Chaitana Shakti within yourself. That should be our state of mind. Now, while doing the next chapter, we will be able to do meditation on this, specific meditation on how to be in this Chaitanya Shakti. So that will give you a complete hang of being in, crossing the Sattva mode and being in the Parama Tattva mode. Okay. Now we got an idea of all the preceding 3 verses, 13, 14 and 15, where how these gunas are making an impact at the time of your death. Now, the Lord once again summarizes in verse 16. He says, the result of good work is pure and born of sattva. Meaning he tries to tell us here, whatever you do is an impact of the mode in which you were. So when you are in a sattva mode, what happens? All your actions are pure and they are born out of sattva. So sukruta, they call sukruta, noble. And the fruit of sattvika karma is without any ignorance and sorrow. So in other words, it is nirmalam. Nirmalam means without any dirt. Sukha, it is filled with serenity, contentment, fulfilling, and it is also called as punyakara. Punyakara means a virtuous deed. So nirmalam, punyakara, these are the outcome of any task which is done with a particular frame of mind of a particular good. Now, if your frame of mind is in Rajasic mode, he says the result of Rajasic actions is sorrow, dukkham, that's all, one word. Earlier it was nirmalam, sukham, punyakaram. Here in Rajasic mode, whatever you do, it is nothing but dukkha. It is a mixture of that papa, punya, karma. Because some people who have gained wealth, they also do good things. So you get punya out of the good things. Sukruta. And since you are doing every action for the sake of acquiring, it is dushkruta. You get papa. So more of dukkha and less, very little sukham in this. When you say papa and punya. So that's the reason majorly he categorizes this as dukkha. And then what is the result of ignorance? Tamas. Now this is ajnana para. When you are in tamas, you will not understand anything. See, we have come across people, we just say, forget him, man. There's no point talking to him at all. No point. It will lead to an argument, we'll say. He doesn't understand what we are telling. Is it not a very common experience for all of us? I tell something, he understands something and he says something. Better not to talk to him. Because he is filled with ignorance. Totally dushkrita, full of ignorance. And there is so much sorrow and incapacity that person doesn't even recognize it also. That sorrow or that kind of inadvertentness what he has, he doesn't even understand. Even though there is a bit of joy, it would be understood in a wrong manner due to ignorance. Because he doubts everybody. So ajnanam is the main outcome of a tamasic person's actions. Dukkham is the main outcome of a rajasic person's actions. And nirmalam punyakara sukham is the outcome of a sattvika person's actions. Now, in the next verse 17, why does a sattvic action lead to this nirmalam or this state of punyakaram, sukham? Why does it lead to? So here the Lord explains, see, this is all logical. A person with a sattvic mind, when he does any action, it is nirmalam, meaning dirt free, or it is peaceful because it is backed by knowledge, jnanaparam. Now when we started today's lecture, first thing was it is filled with jnana. So any action based of knowledge will be sattvikam, that is nirmalam. There is a proper analysis. There is a proper homework which is done. All the pros and cons are evaluated. And you take advice from others also. And when with all these inputs you take a action, it becomes nirmalam. Your mind also becomes a flame of knowledge and it leads you in the right direction. So, in which mode you are, now you know that based on your activity and state of mind, you know in which sattvic mode sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic mode you are. You should start your action only when you are in a sattvic mode. Now, how a person in a rajasic mode, how is he? He is greedy. He is over ambitious. He is unwilling to share. Like there are two or three people who have come together and they are working together, and he does not want to share. He'll see how I can push that one or two people around outside so that I get a major share. So this is caused out of this rajasic state of mind, which eventually it is all caused by greed. And greed further, it increases greed because it breeds greed. Greed breeds greed. So temper takes you to trouble and pride keeps you there. So this is what Swami Chinmayananda Gurudev used to say. Your temper, you are in a rajasic mode, it will put you into trouble. And then after you are in trouble, now you're slowly slipping down to tamas, so that ignorance factor comes in, your pride boosts up and you say, I care a damn. I don't care for anybody, I'm going to do, I know what I'm doing is right. So now next level comes tamas again. Pramada. Pramada is that error, carelessness, inadvertence. Just now what we discussed. He has taken a wrong decision. Lack of knowledge. Greed is overpowering and his temper is accelerated. So he says, forget, now I'm not going to look at what's the outcome, but I will teach that person a lesson. Or I will ensure that I will come out victorious. What victorious? When you're doing a wrong thing, you want to be victorious in that wrong thing, but you feel that is right because you are driven by delusion which comes out of tamas. And the result is by ajnana, ignorance, and ignorance alone. So hence we should never take an action or a decision when we are in this rajasic and a tamasic mode, when it is predominant in us. First study your mind. Now whom are we talking? Not of a third person, of your own self. If somebody comes and asks you something and you first look at yourself. Am I in the state of greed? Am I in the state of temper? Then just keep the decision pending for some time and look for a time when you're peace, you're calm. That also comes. And at that point of time, again relook at this decision what you have to take and take at that point of time. So Trividam Narakasyedam Dwaram Nashanam Atmanaha. In the 16th verse, in the 16th chapter, verse 21, the Lord says, Trividam Narakasyedam. This Trividam, three things they take you towards the gates of hell. What are they? Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. Kama is lust. Krodha is anger. And Lobha is greed. The Lord says, abandon all these three. Lust means that sensual liking beyond a point. It could be anything. It could even be as simple as you have too much of a taste to eat so many things. I want to try this, I want to try that, let's make that, let's eat this. Or it could be at the highest level is in terms of your sexual drive. So lust, anger, and lobha, these three things eventually take you to the doors of hell. So these three gunas control your personality. So they define our personality. See, not that tamas is not required for us, otherwise we won't be able to sleep. In the night, you need that certain amount of laziness, that drowsiness, that feeling of having been exhausted. Unless you get that, you will not be able to sleep well. But it has to be only for that sleep part you need tamas. And also rajas, yes, you want to organize something, you're doing a good deed, you want to organize, you need that activity in you. Only to that extent. Once you know that what are the depths of these particular gun, you know you only take the top layers because they are required. So in this way, we should understand that the sattva, rajas and tamas are all the climatic conditions of our mind which keep changing. As we see, the climate changes in a year, with 6 seasons coming, right? In the same way, these three, predominantly sattva, rajas and tamas, they are on a constant basis during the day. Every hour, even 10 minutes also. For 1 or 2 minutes you are sattvic, then again you slip into rajasic and into a tamasic mode. So now, Lord Krishna in one verse, he tells us what sattva, rajas and tamas do to us. See how much in detail he is going about this. So here he says, this basically the science of life, the principles of right living as per the prescribed as per the scriptures. So if your actions are all sattvic in nature, what will happen? You will start rising up in your life. Not only here, but even in the lives thereafter. And you will be in the pinnacle of joy. Very clear. Now, so far we have understood what all comes under sattvic nature. So, if your actions are constantly, because now he just now explained what is the outcome of the action, and the result of the action, he says, you will be going higher and higher in your life, in the current life, and also in the subsequent lives. Now, if your actions are rajasic, where your actions are based on greed, temper, anger, which we just now analyzed, where you are kamya karma, you want results, you have set up goals, you have set up targets, and you want to acquire and run around. So they live in the middle, he says, which is a mediocre life, where there is more sorrow and a little joy. Madhye, which is in human race, as papa and punya are mixed up, and it's a life of mediocrity. Now, if your actions are tamasic, adhogachanti, you will go down and down, even in this life and in the lives to come. You will be an abyss of misfortune, and you will go to the highest level of pain and torture, not only in this life but in the lives to come. So, this is what the Lord has clearly made us understand. Now he says, your purushartha, you decide what and how you are going to take up in your life. So this is as they say, it is the principles for right living. Once you know this, then you are completely ready to introspect yourself and also audit your action moment to moment, time to time, and from day to day. You will not make errors, and you will see how the quality of life improves. Because here you are putting that purushartha, your proper human effort backed by the divine knowledge. You will start observing your mind, and let me tell you, once you start observing your mind, you come under the state of witness. that drishta, you become an observer of yourself. You start distancing yourself from your mind. That itself takes you to a state of peace and solitude. This is the added side effect or advantage we can talk about. So this way we should be watchful, careful, understand this in much more detail and inculcate in our life. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. So from verse 19, I think we next third revision we'll be able to complete 19 to 27. Okay, about 9 verses. Come. Now let's understand the meaning of two divine names. Verse 28 from Sri Vishnu Sahasranam. First, let's read the slok number 28 and then take the divine name. Vrishahi Vrishabho Vishnuhu Vrishaparva Vrishodaraha Vardhano Vardhamanascha Vivikta Shruti Sagaraha. Vardhanaha, one who is the nurturer and nourisher everywhere at all levels of life, both material and spiritual. In short, from the standpoint of the student who is studying with devotion these 1,000 names of the Lord, the term indicates that Vishnu is the mighty power that supplies all spiritual growth, provides all well being, and ultimately blesses all his devotees with the final realization, moksha. Divine name 262, Vardhamanaha, one who can grow himself into any dimensions, ever growing. Since the names and forms of the universe are ever dynamic and the unseen movement of progressive evolution is everywhere, the Lord is indicated here as this very dimensional movement of progress, Vardhanaha. The Pauranikas attribute that this name came to him because he in his Vamana incarnation grew himself to measure under his 3 steps the whole universe. So such a Lord who grew himself beyond the capacity is known as Vardhamanaha. To such a divine Lord, we offer our humble salutation and seek his grace and blessings. Now let's read the Dhanvantari mantra 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraya Amrutakalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraya Amrutakalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokya Nidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. We offer our salutations to Lord Dhanvantari, who is none other than the avatar of Sri Vishnu. We seek his grace and blessings to give us a life filled with health and vitality to reach thy holy feet. Om. Now let's do meditation, Sakshatkara Siddhi Yoga Dhyana. Please make yourself comfortable. Relax your body. If you need to get up and sit down again, please do that. Massage your body wherever it's uncomfortable. Head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Relax your forehead, your face, your neck and shoulders, your arms, your upper body, and your lower body. Now, for the next 10-12 minutes, seek complete support from your body so that it does not disturb you in your meditation. Now, from this state, now let's move to our breath, prana. Observe the breath going in and out. Take in a few deep breaths, as deep as you can. Inhale and exhale. Now, we start working at the mind level after having relaxed our body and our breath. Now we become a witness to our mind, Antarika, Drishanuvitsa Vikalpa Samadhi, where you are going to watch your mind and the thoughts in your mind as a witness. Keep observing the thoughts that come to your mind without being judgmental. Allow the thoughts to cross and move on. the more you become non-judgmental, you will see the number of thoughts reducing, and eventually there will be no thoughts. Now slowly we move to the next level, Antarika Sabdanvitsavikalpa Samadhi. Here you experience the unification of this Jiva and the Paramatma. With the help of the mantra and the breath, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. When you say so, you inhale your breath. You're inhaling, feeling the presence of that consciousness. And when you say hum, you are exhaling the feeling of the Jivatva Bhava. And you realize the essence of the Jiva and the Paramatma are one and the same. So hum. So hum. So hum. Keep repeating this mantra in your mind and experience the identity of the consciousness within you as one and the same. Now, being in this serene state of mind, let's get the pearls of wisdom for self realization. Shri Guru Namah. All the movable and immovable you see in existence is by the union of Kshetra and Kshetra. Know that the Paramatma accompanies the Atma, which is present in all beings. and understand that Atma and Paramatma are imperishable in this perishable body. Paramatma is equally present in every soul. All actions are performed by Prakriti and not the Atma. All the diverse living beings are a part of one Prakriti and are born by that one Prakriti, which is created by that one Paramatma. Such Paramatma, who does not have any beginning, who does not have any material qualities, this imperishable Paramatma, although he dwells in the body, he neither acts nor he is tainted. Just like space holds everything, but does not get contaminated, same way the soul, the Atma, although pervading in the entire body, does not get contaminated. Just as the sun illumines the whole universe, same way the Atma illumines the entire body. In this way, the one who perceives with eyes of knowledge this subtle difference between Kshetra, which is Vikari, Jada, momentary, and destructible, and who understands Kshetrajna as Nitya, Chetana, Avikari, and Avinashi. And also those who understand that all actions are performed by Prakriti will attain that supreme Parabrahma. Hari Om. That's it. Now transcend your body, mind, and become one with the consciousness. Expand yourself to all limits and just be. I am, I am, I am. Slowly become aware of your breath. Become aware of your body, mind. Know where you are seated. Know your surroundings. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Maha. Rub your palm. Place them on your face, eyes. Feel the warmth gently and lovingly. Open your eyes. Na ham karta Hari karta Hari prerana. Together we offer today's Gita Jnana Yajna, the lotus feet. We seek His grace, His mercy, and our humble salutations. Om Tat Sat.
भवतो ज्ञानमेव च ऊर्ध्वं
Good evening to all of
गच्छन्ति
you.
सत्त्वस्थाः
Let's join again.
मध्ये
Coming
तिष्ठन्ति
Tuesday happens to be
राजनाः
Ekadashi, so we'll fix up for probably Wednesday. I'll let you know what day we'll be taking the next class. Till then, please keep your sadhana intact and be in that bliss, experiencing that divine feeling always. Hari Om. That's it. Thank you.